You might think that a barbecue without any wheat, gluten, dairy, soy, eggs, nuts, or meat would be a little boring. Not with the alternative chef girls around. We've got Anne. She's going to show you how to make a healthy salad to serve at your next barbecue.
So in your coleslaw you can put a blend of ingredients, cabbage of course, carrot, you can put in celery, you could put in sultanas, and I also like to add a little bit of fruit into my coleslaw, so today I'm going to be using apple. You can use red or green just to give it a little bit of colour and also bring out those flavours. Now, if you like chopping everything by hand, you go for it. Me, I'm all about the easy. I'm using my food processor. Now, I'm using an egg-free mayonnaise today. Now, if you've never heard of an egg-free mayonnaise, then check out our mayonnaise episodes where you can learn awesome top tips. Because I like to stir. Oh, it's going to take a while. And there you have it, an amazing bowl of rainbow coleslaw ready for your barbecue guests.
Lisa's making gluten-free, soy-free, egg-free, dairy-free, meat-free burgers, and that's no bull.
So today I'm going to show you what I think is one of the yummiest burgers I've made today. And it's got a bit of a meaty feel and texture, and it's just really easy to make. First up, the bulk of this burger, I've got some red kidney beans and some lentils. I'm going to put them in the blender. Next up, I'm adding some dried shiitake mushrooms that I've rehydrated with some water. Something else I'm putting in for a little bit of a chew is sun-dried tomatoes. For a bit more of that red, sort of fleshy sort of feel to the burger, I'm going to use beetroot. So I've got some canned beetroot here. You could use fresh beetroot that you've roasted in the oven if you want to. That's totally cool. I've got some red onion here. I'm adding some fresh parsley and a combination of spices. We're also just going to add half a cup of gluten-free flour. Okay, so you can see it's quite blended down the bottom, but it still needs a bit of blending up the top. So I'm just going to mix it all up. I'm just going to give it another quick blend. Okay, so we've just turned that out into a bowl, and I've just added the remaining flour in here, and then the rest of it I've just put in a little plate so that when we're making our patties we can turn them over in there. I've got some whole kidney beans here, and I have just really lightly mash them with the potato masher. I don't want them to be as fine in texture as the actual blended mix was, because otherwise it's just going to be mushy. I want this to give a little bit more of a chew factor. So I'm just going to stir that through. Okay, so I'm just going to wet my hands a little bit because it's much easier to form the patties when your hands are wet, but you don't want to do it too wet because it's already a soft mix. Take a decent amount of patty mix into your hand and just squash them round into a burger patty like that. And so there you go. That's how you make a meat, dairy, gluten, soy, nut and egg-free burger.
We're not going to need the barbecue for this one, but we will need these because Hayley's up next and she's going to show us how to make a raw barbecue onion.
I'm going to show you a way to make them taste just as though they've come off the barbecue. First up, I'm just going to slice my onions. Just going to remove the skin. Using the mandolin slicer, I'm just going to slice up the onions really finely. Now I'm ready to mix up my barbecue sauce marinade. So I'm just gonna throw everything into the blender. Got some paprika, some tamari, some extra virgin olive oil, some pitted medjool dates, and some water just to get everything moving. So I'm just going to blend that up until everything's nice and smooth. That looks about ready. It's still quite thick, and that's just going to stick and hold around our onions. That tastes really good. Now I'm just going to evenly coat my onions in the barbecue marinade. So mix it all in until everything's nicely coated. All right, that should do it. Now I'm just going to spread the onions out nice and evenly and thinly. Now I'm just going to pop them into the dehydrator, and I'm just going to dehydrate them on high for around 3 hours. Now these have been heated for around 3 hours. As you can see, the onions shrink down a lot with the heat. That tastes so good. You wouldn't even know it's raw. There's so many recipes you could use these raw onions on. I think I'm gonna go and put mine on a raw pizza.
Now Glenys is going to show us how to make some whole food sausages that are meat-free, gluten-free and egg-free. Using lentils.
What do you serve your guests at barbecues who don't eat meat? Today I'm going to make a spicy meatless sausage. The bulk of these sausages are lentils. I have rinsed them, drained them, and then mashed them with a potato masher. The rest of the ingredients is some garlic and sliced onion, nutritional yeast, Worcestershire sauce, some spices that I have dry roasted, some brown rice flour, tomato paste, and mushrooms. To start, I'm going to crush and chop my garlic cloves. I'm going to add these to a pan with some olive oil. To the garlic, I'm going to add some chopped onion. And to our onions and garlic, some mushrooms. And we'll saute these down. Takes 3 or 4 minutes. To our lentils, we'll add the rest of the ingredients while our mushrooms are cooking down. I'm going to add the sauce, nutritional yeast, our dry roasted spices, our brown rice flour, and tomato paste. This just needs to be combined together. If it's a little bit dry, it could be due to the brown rice flour. It takes a lot of moisture, so just add a little bit of water at a time if you need to. This is a good consistency, a little moist, but easy to mould. This is done. We'll take it off the heat and put it somewhere to cool down, because we need it completely cold before we add it to our other ingredients that we've just prepared. So here it is. Here's our onion and mushroom and garlic that's been sauteed. And we're going to add this to our ingredients that we prepared. And now to make sausages. I'm going to grab a small amount of the mixture, and you can shape them whatever way you like. To further the cooking process, we steam them for about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to bring the steamer over that I prepared earlier. Boiling water underneath, the steamer and a tinfoil lining. And we're going to place the sausages in here and steam them for roughly 20 minutes. So these have been in now for 20 minutes. So it's time to take them out. And now we'll pop them in the fridge. And when they're cool, we'll roll them in some polenta. The polenta will give the sausages a nice golden look and a real crunch when you bite into it after it's been on the barbecue.
different barbecue alternatives. Now it's your turn. Get snapping. Give them a go with your friends and let us know what you think. And if you want to stay up to date with all the latest, head on over to our website. To keep up to date with what the girls are up to next, fill in your details and you'll receive our newsletter.
Wow! And there we have it, an enormous bowl of rainbow mayonnaise all ready for your barbecue guests. Oh, did it? I said...
We're not going to need this.
I can't get it off. Come on.
I just love this recipe so much. It just tastes so good to make me cry. Worcester, say Worcestershire like a New Zealander.
Worcestershire sauce, is that right?
Wisteria.
Wisteria sauce.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. What do you serve your guests who don't eat meat? How to make a spicely, meatly, sausagely.
Okay.
Oh dear. Worcestershire.